Let's talk about making a difference for men and boys. Hey everyone, it's International Men's Day, and the theme for International Men's Day this year is making a difference for men and boys. Now, there are many ways that we can actually help men and boys in society become better people. I've have a list of a couple here, of a couple of ideas and changes that I would like to see happen. First off, we need to reform the education system. Boys are falling behind girls at all levels of the education system. Look at the gender degree gap. Women earn 12% more degrees than men. And I'll actually give you an interesting fact, and it's something that a lot of people don't actually know. Boys are further behind reading and writing in literacy than girls were ever behind in mathematics and STEM. But yet those gaps aren't highlighted. And that's quite concerning to me. Now, one of the biggest reasons for this is because boys and men don't learn by sitting around and going through textbooks. They don't learn that way. And we can actually see that when boys do learn that way, their grades go down. But we also have seen that when they do things practically, like when they're taken out to actually do some simple surveying of like the school yard or something for geography, they tend to learn a lot better that way. And definitely I learned a lot better that way. And that's why I think computer hardware was actually one of my favorite modules in college, because when it came to the actual labs, we got hands-on with the equipment. We would take computer towers apart and put them back together. So definitely get more practical and hands-on with the different subjects in the education system. But also, I would encourage that more men go into the education system and become teachers, because boys have a serious lack of male figures, like male role models that kind of in their lives. And that kind of actually brings me on to my second point, in that is basically to combat fatherlessness in the home. In many Western countries, the rate of father absence is huge, and from what I've seen, a lot of fathers want to be involved in their children's lives. They really do, and yet they're actually being prevented by several things. Sometimes it is the wife or girlfriend, but also the actual family law system is also a hindrance to that. And like, it's particularly bad over in the United States at the moment, because it's 1 in 4 fathers now live apart from their children. Now, does that mean all 25% of those fathers are deadbeat dads? No. No, are there deadbeat dads? Yes. And fair enough, in my view, they shouldn't be allowed near the children if they don't care or if they're violent. But a lot of what I'm seeing, most of them are dads that want to be involved. They want to do a good job with being fathers, and they're just not allowed to be, which is quite sad. And it also kind of shows, because children in fatherless homes are more likely to be more depressed. They're more likely to be in prison. Girls in fatherless homes are actually more likely to get pregnant in their teens. And they're actually more likely to be in poverty. That's disturbing. And we always hear the phrase toxic masculinity. Right, now, in my opinion, masculinity in and of itself isn't toxic. Now, it can become toxic, but that's only because it's not channeled in the right way. But the idea that men in general are full of toxic masculinity is not a really strong argument, simply because of the fact there's no, in a lot of children's lives, there are no consistent male role models in their lives. And so if we don't show them how good of a man they can be, they'll start looking elsewhere. And that's how they get into gangs and all that stuff. And that's where the problem kind of lies with that. So definitely encourage father presence in children's lives. And from what I've seen, a lot of fathers do want to be there. So let's let them. Also, another big one, but I've already talked about this in the mental health video, is reform the mental health service. And examples of that would be encourage therapy to be used, like cognitive behavioural therapy, CBT, which has a proven record of being quite successful with men. But the biggest thing with the mental health service is that when they do look at changing it, they kind of base those changes that they make to the system on the myth that men don't talk, instead of the system not listening to them. And that's where the biggest problem kind of comes in with mental health. So those would definitely be the three big things I'd change. Reform the education system, which would include encourage more men to get into becoming teachers. Combat fatherlessness in the home. And reform the mental health system. Because I think men have a vital importance in society, a vital role to play. Because society needs good men to keep it going. Like it has been estimated that if all men walk off the job for 3 days, just 3 days, that society would be 3 years in cleaning up the mess. So that's a lot of damage. And so we don't see men's role in society. And a lot of it is quite hidden. So the point when it comes to teaching boys to become good men is to show them what a good man is, and encourage them, and actually show them how good it feels to be a good man. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I was lucky. Like my father lives in the house still, and he's always been very supportive of anything I've done. But I've also had quite a few good male teachers Now I've had a few good female teachers as well. But male teachers, in my experience anyway, I've definitely clicked with them a bit better. So we definitely need to look at the needs of men and boys in society and adapt society to cater to those needs for them to become better men. Happy International Men's Day. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.